Welcome to another episode of the UPSC PT Special Series. This is the second episode and this is basically a revision of whatever we have covered up till now in our previous News on Map episodes. Whatever the first set of the questions, those have already been covered in the first episode. This is the second one. Let's begin with the first question. Consider the following statements with respect to Australia. We have to select the sequence of cities on the way from east to west, okay? From east to west, and they should be along the coastline in Australia. First one, Perth, then Adelaide, and then Sydney. First statement is that. Second is that the Great Sandy Desert extends to its northwest and its natural characteristic is the same as that of Gobi Desert, and all its rivers fall into the Indian Ocean. This is with respect to Australia. Australia country has been in the news because of being a part of the Quad, of course, and other reason is that first we have to understand why any country, a question with respect to any country or state is asked, because that place has been in the news for quite a period of time. So from east to west, of course we have to go from east to west. Then first will be Perth. Let's see. The east over here amongst the three countries, first is Sydney. Okay. Then we have here at the coastal area in South Australia, Adelaide. And then in Western Australia, we have Perth. So as you can see, the first statement is in itself incorrect because it is showing you from west towards the east. So this is not correct. Then the Great Sandy Desert, let us see where is the Great Sandy Desert. This is the Great Sandy Desert in the northwest. Okay, and basically this is a hot desert. And let's talk about Gobi Desert. Gobi Desert is in Mongolia and spans across Mongolia and China. This is a cold desert. So basically it receives precipitation in the form of snow, and whereas Great Sandy Desert is a hot desert, very little precipitation is there. So yes, the second statement is also not correct. The third one is all of its river falls into the Indian Ocean, which is not correct. Many of its river fall into the Pacific Ocean as well. You can see these many rivers. Okay, so all the statements, all the three statements are incorrect actually here. So none of the above is going to be the correct answer over here. All right, so let's begin and move on to our second question, which is with respect to tiger reserves in India. We have to consider the following statements. Satyamangalam and Muddumalai Tiger Reserve are situated to the south of Annamalai Tiger Reserve. First, and the Amrabah Tiger Reserve is located to the north of Krishna River. Okay, second is that. Third is all tiger reserves of Rajasthan are into the west of Aravalli category, Aravalli range basically. So you see that first, Annamalai Tiger Reserve, which is in Tamil Nadu, to its north has very few tiger reserves. Remember the names of them. Okay, but you see that we are talking about two tiger reserves in Tamil Nadu. First one is Satyamangalam Tiger Reserve. We have two of them, Annamalai and Satyamangalam. So Annamalai and Satyamangalam is to the north and not to the south. And the other one was Muddumalai, I guess. Yes, Muddumalai here in Karnataka. It is situated to the north of Annamalai Tiger Reserve. Now that makes our first statement incorrect. Then we have Amrabah Tiger Reserve, which is located to the north of Krishna River. Yes, Krishna River is situated here, you see. Okay, and we talk about Amrabah Tiger Reserve in Telangana, which is, here was the Krishna River, right? So it's in the just north of the Krishna River is actually to the south of Amrabad. That means Amrabad is to the north of Krishna River. So second is correct. All tiger reserves of Rajasthan are located to the west of Aravalli ranges. Okay, not the category. Category is actually ranges over here we are talking about. Here is the Aravalli range. Okay, and many tiger reserves such as Sariska, Ranthambore, this is situated to the east of the Aravallis. Okay, so that makes Sariska and Ranthambore to be two of those who are situated to the east of Aravallis. So only the second is correct. First and third are not. B is the correct answer over here. Alright, let's move on and talk about the next question, which is, which of the following Central Asian countries does Kazakhstan not share borders? That means we have to select a country that does not have a border with Kazakhstan. Kazakhstan has been in the news because of its mutiny, the civil mutiny that occurred. So that is why this question has been asked. Kazakhstan sharing a border with Turkmenistan. Then we have Uzbekistan. We are talking about just Central Asian countries, okay? Here we have Kyrgyzstan, and only Tajikistan, you see, doesn't have a border with Kazakhstan. So the correct answer would be Tajikistan, of course, and that is our option C. Let's move on to our next question, which is that we have to consider the statements by looking at the map of Karnataka. So the Western Ghats, they extend as much in Karnataka as in Maharashtra, and the length of the coastline is same as that of Andhra Pradesh. Then the White Plateaus in its northern and northeastern region are known as Mysore Plateaus. So let us see. Basically, you see this map is going to show us that Karnataka has a much more bigger expanse of Western Ghats as compared to Maharashtra. So the first statement is not correct. Then we see the second statement about the comparison of coastline between Karnataka and Andhra Pradesh. So Andhra Pradesh basically has a coastline of more than 900 kilometers, whereas Karnataka has it just for 300 kilometers. So that makes the second statement also incorrect. Both the statements are not correct. The White Plateaus in the northern and northeastern are not known as Mysore Plateaus, because you see here basically if we talk about the plateau, Karnataka Plateau, basically Mysore Plateau, these are the southern part of the Karnataka Plateau, and the southern part of the Karnataka Plateau, that is the Mysore Plateau, is situated in southern Karnataka, and of course not north and northeastern region. So you see that makes none of the above are correct. All three are incorrect. Okay, moving on to the next set of questions. We have to match the river into the sea or the area in which it flows. So Mississippi, Gulf of Mexico, Niger, Mediterranean Sea, Amur in the Sea of Japan, and Yangtze in the South China Sea. Let us see first of all Mississippi. Yes, Mississippi has a very huge course, and here it flows in the continent of North America to Gulf of Mexico. Okay, so the first pair is correct. Then if we talk about Niger, Niger is a very important river in West Africa. Okay, and Niger, you see, it falls in the Gulf of Guinea, which is in the Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so this is also not correct. First is correct, second is not correct. Okay, Mediterranean Sea, no. Then Amur, Sea of Japan. Yes, Amur is a very important river. Here is Amur, and it flows into the Sea of Japan. This is the correct answer over here. Okay, Sea of Japan is going to be the correct answer, correct pair match. Then we have another river by the name of Yangtze. Yangtze is an important river of China. Okay, and here it flows into the East China Sea. This is the Yangtze River flowing in the East China Sea. So as you can see, only the first and the third, Mississippi and Gulf of Mexico, not Niger and not Yangtze. These two are not correct. Sea of Japan is correctly matched with Amur and the first pair. So first and third are going to be our correct answers over here. Alright, let's move on to the next set of questions. Now the first one here says, which of the following city is closest to the equator as compared to the other three? So Naypyidaw, Vientiane, Hanoi and Bale. And as you can see, this is the equator. Okay, goes from here to here, and then we have the cities of Hanoi, very far away from the equator. This is Bali, and Bali is just 7 degrees south of equator. This is going to be our correct answer. Let us nevertheless see. Then Naypyidaw of Myanmar, and then we have Vientiane of Laos capital. These countries, these cities are very far away from the equator as compared to Bali. So the correct answer will be option D, that is Bali. Okay, this region is more in the news because of the earthquakes and the, of course, nearness to the circum-Pacific belt make it very prone to earthquakes, tsunamis, volcanic activity. That is why this region is a lot in the news, and that is why we asked this question. Consider the following statements in the context of Great Barrier Reef. It is located in the Tasman Sea between Australia and New Zealand. The Fiji Islands are located just north of it. We have to select the not correct statement. You see, the Great Barrier Reef is so huge, it can be seen from the space as well. And it is in the Coral Sea, not the Tasman Sea. Coral Sea, very close to Papua New Guinea and Australia in the northeastern direction. So first is not correct. Then Fiji Islands are located just north of it. No, they are basically to the east of it, right? So both are not correct. The correct answer would be option C because we had to select the correct answer over here. So C is the correct one, not correct as in. Then we have to talk about Turkey, and we have to see that all three countries of southern Caucasus, Georgia, Armenia and Azerbaijan have a border with Turkey. Then its capital is Istanbul, which is nestled on the both sides of an important waterway. And the river Tigris and Euphrates originates from the eastern part. The famous Van Lake is located in the eastern Anatolia region. We have to select the correct statements. Let us first of all have a look at Turkey. Now this is the map of Turkey, and we are going to see, yes, it has a border with Georgia, Armenia and Azerbaijan as well, very small region of Azerbaijan. And of course, all the three countries are an important part of the Caucasus, southern Caucasus region. So first statement is correct, okay? First statement is correct. Istanbul is not its capital, although it is nestled between two important waterways. Here, Black Sea, Sea of Marmara. This is Istanbul, but it actually is not the capital of Turkey. Ankara is the capital of Turkey. So second statement is not correct. Then it asks the Euphrates and the Tigris. It originates from the eastern region of Turkey. Yes, Euphrates and Tigris. That is correct. This is Tigris and this is Euphrates. So this statement is correct. And Lake Van is in the eastern Anatolia region. Anatolia was also known as earlier as Asia Minor, which is a very important region in Turkey. So Lake Van is situated over here. Lake Van, with respect to it, this is correct. Tigris and Euphrates correct, but not the thing of the capital. First, third and the fourth, not the second, are correct. Option B is the correct answer over here. Let's move on to the next set of questions. Consider the following statements with respect to the context of flora in India. Now, because of the ISFR report has been released, this question is asked. So we have to see the tropical evergreen vegetation, which is a very important vegetation found in India. The tropical moist deciduous forests are the predominant forests that are found in India. So tropical evergreen vegetation is found only to the south of Tropic of Cancer, and as per the status of forests in India report, Andhra Pradesh has the highest increase in the forest cover in terms of area. Let us see if it is correct or not. Now you see tropical wet evergreen and tropical moist deciduous and tropical semi-evergreen. What are we talking about? Tropical evergreen, okay? These are found mostly in the Western Ghats, northeastern India and Andaman and Nicobar as well. So not only south of tropic, but also the north of tropic. Tropic passes through somewhere over here, alright? Because we have to select the not correct one, so this is going to be one of our answer. Then status of forest report, Andhra Pradesh has registered the highest increase. That is definitely correct. This is the order of increase of forest. That is gains, how much they have increased. And the losses over here. So Andhra Pradesh first, Telangana second, then Odisha, Karnataka and then Jharkhand. So only the first one is not correct. That is going to be our correct answer over here, option A. Alright, moving on. Next question is with respect to matching the water bodies, the small water bodies, with the regions they are dividing. Cook Strait between north and southern islands of New Zealand, Davis between Canada and Greenland, Dover between France and England, and Tsushima Strait between Japan and South Korea. Let's see, this is the Cook Strait, okay? And Cook Strait is, of course, adjoining the north and south islands of New Zealand. So first is correct. First is correct. Then Davis Strait between Canada and Greenland. This is correct. To the east of Davis Strait we have Greenland and west we have Canada. Then Strait of Dover between England and France. This is also correct. And then fourth one, the Tsushima Strait between South Korea and Japan. All are correctly matched. So our answer would be option D, all of the above. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is, we have to arrange the following in order from north to south. Okay. Srivilliputtur Megamalai Tiger Reserve, Veer Shikhargarh Wildlife Sanctuary, Valmiki Tiger Reserve and Attapakka Bird Sanctuary. Let us see from north to south. First we have Veer Shikhargarh Wildlife Sanctuary first, then we have Valmiki Tiger Reserve, Attapakka Bird Sanctuary, and Shrivilliputhur Meghamalai. So Veer Shikhargarh Tiger Wildlife Sanctuary is in Haryana. Then Valmiki is in Bihar. Then we have Attapaka Bird Sanctuary, that is in Andhra Pradesh. And then we have Shrivilliputhur Meghamalai, that is in Tamil Nadu. So first, Veer Shikhargarh, okay. Second should be first, that is option A, of course, the correct one. 2, and then Valmiki, then we have Attapaka, and then we have Shrivilliputhur. Alright, let's move on to the next set of questions. We have to match the sea and the country at which near to them are located, okay. Near to these countries, the water bodies are located. Laccadive Sea, Sri Lanka, Bay of Biscay in Spain. Then we have English Channel in France and Mozambique Channel in Madagascar. Let us see. So Laccadive Sea is over here, okay, and it is very close to Sri Lanka at the western side. So first is correct. Then we have English Channel between France and United Kingdom, and we have to the north of Spain, we have Bay of Biscay. That is also correct. And of course, the Mozambique Channel, which is to the west of Madagascar in the Indian Ocean. So all are correctly matched. The correct answer is option D. Alright, let's move on to the next question, which is state the position of the following along the east coast of the India in the order from north to south, from up to top to bottom. Bheetarkanika National Park, Mahanadi's Mouth, Chilika Lake, Visakhapatnam Port, Kajiranga Wildlife Sanctuary. So even if you know the region that they are close to, you will be able to answer this question. We have Bheetarkanika National Park in Odisha, then first here. Then we have the mouth of Mahanadi, okay. Then we have Chilika Lake. And then we have Visakhapatnam, and then we have Kajiranga Wildlife Sanctuary. So Bheetarkanika, mouth of Mahanadi, Chilika Lake, Visakhapatnam and Kajiranga Wildlife Sanctuary. It's in the same order actually. Bheetarkanika, Mahanadi's Mouth, Chilika Lake, Visakhapatnam Port and Kajiranga Wildlife Sanctuary. 1, 2, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Option A is the correct one over here. Moving on, we have to see which of the following countries does Peru share its border, okay. So Peru is a country in South America and has a border with Ecuador, Colombia, this is Peru, Ecuador, Colombia, Brazil, Bolivia and a small strip with Chile. So Ecuador, first of all, Ecuador, Brazil, Bolivia and Chile is going to be our correct answer over here. Alright, option D. Let's move on and talk about our next question. Sri Lanka has a maritime boundary with only Myanmar and Maldives, and the Sri Lanka's largest river, which is Mahabeli Ganga. It originates from the Mahabeli Hatton Plateau. We have to see the correct one. So Sri Lanka not only has a border with Maldives and Myanmar, but also India, and we have to understand it is our neighbor of India. So that is why the first statement is not correct. Also it has the word only. Sri Lanka's largest river, yes, Mahabeli Ganga, it originates in the Hatton Plateau. That is very correct. It is in the southern central region of Sri Lanka, okay. So only the second one is correct. Option B is going to be our correct answer. Moving on to the next question. Consider the following statements. The Malay Peninsula covers the countries of Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia and Singapore, and Malaysia's two states, Sarawak and Sabah. These are located on the island of Borneo, and these are separated from the Malay Peninsula by the South China Sea. We have to select the correct statement. So the Malay Peninsula covers countries such as Myanmar, Thailand, even Cambodia, Malaysia and Singapore. So these are the countries of Malay Peninsula, which is definitely correct, okay. First is correct. And Malaysia's two states, Sarawak and you see Sabah, these are actually separated from the Malay Peninsula by the South China Sea. So 1 and 2, both are correct. So the correct answer would be option C, both 1 and 2. Alright, moving on to the next question. We have to arrange the following UNESCO World Heritage Sites from west to east, from west to east of India. So let's see, these are the many options. Caves of Elephanta, Monument Group of Khajuraho. Then we have Mahabodhi Temple Complex, Stone Caves of Bhimbaitka and Dhaulavira. Let us see, first of all, Dhaulavira is in Gujarat, northern Gujarat, first that. Then we have Elephanta Caves, then Bhimbaitka, then we have Khajuraho, okay, and then we have Bodh Gaya, okay. So Mahabodhi temples, okay. So that makes first Dhaulavira is correct, first. So fifth should be one of our first arrangements. Then we have monument, no, Caves of Elephanta, 1 after that. After 5 we have 1, that is correct. Then we have, I guess, Bhimbaitka we have first, and then we have Khajuraho. So then Bhimbaitka, that is 514. This becomes incorrect. 51423. 2 is the monument group of Khajuraho, and then we have Bodhi temples, the Mahabodhi temple complex. Option C is going to be the correct answer. Alright. So I tried to cover all the important news that has been there with the help of maps. Do revise the first episode along with the second. All the best and thank you so much for watching.